Welcome to the 1099 ETC program. This tutorial will demonstrate how to import QuickBooks employee and paycheck data from QuickBooks Desktop into AMS Payroll using memorized reports. It does not work for QuickBooks Online. To begin, the payer should be created and set up in the 1099 etc. program in AMS Payroll. You will need access to the payer in QuickBooks, and memorized reports should already be set up in QuickBooks. For the purposes of this tutorial, the memorized reports have been set up in QuickBooks and the payer, ABC Payroll, has been created. In QuickBooks, you will need to create 4 files. Each file will contain different data. 3 of these files, payroll item listing, paycheck data and the tax deposit data, have been saved as a memorized report in a prior import. First is the ATF.I$F file for the payroll item listing or the check field names. Second is the employee data file, which is named the ATF.IIF file. This file contains the employee demographic information, including the employee name and social security number. The third file will contain the paycheck information. The file is named ATF.TAB. It includes the employee name, social security number and the check data for a specific date range. Finally, the fourth file is optional. It contains federal and/or state tax deposit information. The file name is ATF.T$B. First, open the company in QuickBooks. The first file we are going to create is the payroll item listing file. In a previous import, we saved the settings for this file as a memorized report called ATF.I$F file. Select Reports, Memorized Reports and then ATF.I$F file. Next, we need to print the report to a file. Select Print, and then Report. Select File, and then tap Delimited File. Click Print. The file needs to be saved in the Payers folder for the 1099 ETC program. In our example, ABC Payroll is the payer. Enter the file name exactly as it appears on the screen. The file name should be ATF.I$F. Make sure there are quotations before and after the name. Click Save. The payroll item listing file is complete. The employee file is not saved as a memorized report. We can now create the second file for the employee data. In QuickBooks, select File, Utilities, Export and then Lists to IIF files. Check Employee List. Click OK. The file needs to be saved in the Payers folder for the 1099 ETC program. Enter the file name exactly as it appears on the screen. The file name should be ATF.IIF. Make sure there are quotations before and after the name. Click Save. Now that the file is created, click OK. We will now create the check file. The memorized report name is ATF.TAB file. For the purposes of this tutorial, we will import the checks dated 01/23/31. Remember to customize the dates to fit your needs. The file we are going to create is the paycheck file. In a previous import, we saved the settings for this file as a memorized report called ATF.TAB file. Select Reports, Memorized Reports and then ATF.TAB file. First, we need to indicate the check dates to include in the import file. Click Customize Report. First, in the top section, change the dates to include the checks to import. For our tutorial, we are going to change the dates from January 1st to March 31st. Make sure the selections on this screen are correct and click OK. Now we are going to generate the check file. Click Print and then Report. Select File, and then tap Delimited File. Click Print. The file needs to be saved in the Payers folder for the 1099 ETC program. In our example, ABC Payroll is the payer. Enter the file name exactly as it appears on the screen. The file name should be atf.tab. Make sure there are quotations before and after the name. The type of file should be text. Click Save. Now the federal and state tax deposit file can be created. This file is optional. If you do not want to create the deposit file, click the button below and jump to the Import into AMS Payroll instructions. To begin, select Reports, Accountant and Taxes, and then Transaction Detail by Account. The file we are going to create is the tax payment file. In a previous import we saved the settings for this file as a memorized report called ATFT $file. Select Reports, Memorized Reports and then ATFT $B file. For the dates, select Custom and enter 01 to 03/31. Click Refresh. Now we are going to generate the tax payment file. Click Print and then Report. Select File, and then tap Delimited File. Click Print. The file needs to be saved in the Payers folder for the 1099 ETC program. In our example, ABC Payroll is the payer. Enter the file name exactly as it appears on the screen. The file name should be atf.tab. Make sure there are quotations before and after the name. The type of file should be text. Click Save. Now that the files have been created in QuickBooks and saved in the Payers directory, we can import this information into AMS Payroll. First, we will define the XREF file which cross-references the QuickBooks payroll items, CAT names, with the AMS Payroll check field, ATF names, from the atf.I$F file. Importing the employee information. This step imports the employee demographic information including Social Security number and name from the atf.IIF file. Importing the paycheck information. This step imports the employee's name, Social Security number and the check date for a specified date range from the atf.tab file. This also includes importing the optional federal and state tax deposit information from the atf.T$B file. To begin, open the 1099 etc. program. Select AMS Payroll. Next, on the Select Payer screen. If the payer is not already set up, click Create New Payer and follow the prompts to create the Payers directory. For the purposes of this tutorial, the payer is already created. Highlight the payer and click OK. Select Options, Import and Export Options and then B. Import from QuickBooks for Windows. This is the QuickBooks Import selection screen. You will select the options that are applicable to your situation. Following is a brief explanation for all selections. The first selection is to find the XREF of QuickBooks for payroll and employee information. This step defines the QuickBooks payroll items, called CAT names, with the AMS Payroll check field, called ATF names. The QuickBooks CAT names are in the atf.I$F file. The next selection is Import Employee Information from IIF file. This will import the employee information, such as the name, address and Social Security number. This must be completed first on the initial import, if the employee information changes or if employees are added in QuickBooks. Employees in QuickBooks can be excluded if the employees are already defined in AMS Payroll, or if the employees are marked inactive in QuickBooks. You can also elect to view the import log file, which can be used for technical support purposes. The next selection is Import Payroll Checks from TAB file. The selection will import the payroll data from the ATF tab file. It will also optionally import tax deposits from the atf.T$B file. You can also elect to run a validation or view the import log file, which can be used for technical support purposes. Make your selections and click OK. The first step is to import the cat names. This step will combine the ATF.IIF file with the ATF.I$F file. The program assumes that the QuickBooks files were saved to the Payers folder in AMS Payroll. If you save the files in a different location, you will need to locate the ATF.IIF file. Highlight the file and click Open. The next 3 screens display and need to be answered based on your QuickBooks settings. In most cases, nothing will need to be changed. For more information on these screens, please review the help files. Otherwise, please select the appropriate answer. These 3 screens display are informational only. The program knows which cat names are used in QuickBooks. Each message automatically assigns the ATF names to the cat names. The employee information fields, ATF names will begin with an equal sign. The federal and state tax deposits ATF names will begin with a pound sign. As the messages display, click OK. The program attempts to define any cat names with their ATF names. For example, pay and salary will automatically be defined as gross pay. You will need to define any cat names with no ATF names if they need to be imported. If they need to be defined, you will click in the blank ATF name for that field. In our example, bonus needs to be defined as gross pay. Double-click on the blank ATF name beside bonus. This is a list of the ATF names. This list includes UDFs, which are used to define additional fields such as 401k and health insurance. You can have up to 40 user-defined fields. For our bonus field, since it is considered part of the gross, highlight gross pay and then click Select. Notice that the ATF name is now gross pay. This will include bonus in the gross pay when imported. Repeat and define any other required fields. Note that the program will automatically define the federal withholding, employees' Medicare and the Social Security withholdings. The employees' state withholding, if any, will automatically be defined. A little more information on the screen. The ATF names then begin with an equal sign are used for defining the employee's name, address and social security number. ATF names that begin with an asterisk will import federal, state and local deposit information, if any. This saves the XREF information in a file called xref.dbf, which is located in the Payers folder. Once the fields have been defined as needed, click Quit. You will be prompted to back up the employee data. For the purposes of this tutorial, select Skip and click OK. This step imports the employee information. The program assumes that the QuickBooks files were saved to the Payers folder in AMS Payroll. If you save the files in a different location, you will need to locate the ATF.IIF file. Highlight the ATF.IIF file and click Open. Click OK to start the employee information import. Next, you will be prompted to back up. Make your selection. For this tutorial, we are not going to back up the payer. Click No. Next, we will import the paychecks. The program assumes that the QuickBooks files were saved to the Payers folder in AMS Payroll. If you save the files in a different location, you will need to locate the ATF.tab file. Highlight the ATF.tab file and click Open. Click OK to start the paycheck import. This will begin the tax deposits import, if it was selected on the Import options screen. Click the button below to skip the tax payment import instructions. Click OK. For each tax deposit that is imported, an edit screen will appear. Verify that the information is correct and click OK. Click Skip and that tax deposit will not be imported. The import is complete. When the import is complete, please verify that the data was correctly imported into AMS Payroll. You can use the View command, which will display the company totals for each month. Print Report B, Employee Period Detail, and elect to display each check and the total for each employee for verification purposes. For further questions, please review the frequently asked questions on the AMS website, or refer to the help files for additional information. Technical support can be reached by email, fax, chat or phone. Thank you for using the 1099 etc. program. Have a great day.